Hey, Awesomes, how's it going? Happy Thursday to you. I wanted to go over a few things with you about the wikiHow instruction project today, and then also talk to you a little bit, just kind of review the discussion thing for this week. So I guess I'll start with that. So as I noted yesterday in the announcement post that I am not having you or asking you or requiring you this week to do a discussion post, basically suspending it, canceling it, whatever you want to call it, giving you a break from doing that this week, as I know that the putting our initial drafts together for the wikiHow project sometimes can be a little overwhelming and can be very time consuming. So I wanted to provide some extra time for that. So just FYI, as a reminder, you don't have to worry about doing any discussion board post replies. I'm not going to post a prompt this week. So just spend your time focusing on your wikiHow instructions. So to that end, let's talk about that project. I thought I had put a video up here already for Project 2A, but alas, I had not, so I apologize for that. So let's look at the wikiHow instructions. I know we've talked about them in several different ways. There's a couple things I just want to highlight that are specifically when it comes to the details for this assignment. So we have the genre of the instruction set, and so what's important to kind of think about here is to look at other wikiHow instructions to kind of get us an idea of what that genre, as it says right here, instruction sets of genre of writing most employees compose at a time or another in their career. More specifically, and we talked about this, I believe, either last video or the video before that, we're talking about the genre of, we can think about them as subgenres, we can talk about them as specialty fields, things of that nature that you think about when you think about instructions. Not all instructions are exactly identical or the same. So there's going to be a formatting aspect to this. On the wikiHow site, right, which I had you guys read last week, how to put together a wikiHow article, getting started, things of that nature. So, okay, so we just found a suitable topic, right? So we're right in here, you plan and draft, and it says a 3 to 4 page document, single space with superstructure, settings, headings, and at least 12 bulleted steps, etc. Okay, so that has to do with, remember we talked about last week about pre-planning, right? So this might be part of your pre-planning, where you might scope out or you might provide an outline before you actually sit down and actually put them onto the wikiHow site. So that is what that is referring to. That's not an assignment or a document that you have to turn in or submit for a grade. You would consider that pre-planning, and I would highly advise you maybe to, even if it's a piece of paper, that you just sketch out step 1 is this, step 2 is that, step 3 is that, and then maybe you might draw boxes, on their picture of this, graphic of this, things of that nature, just to kind of help. So then when you sit down to actually do it on the wikiHow site, it's not as arduous, okay? And to speak to the 3 to 4 page length or whatever, that's just kind of what it, if you sat down and kind of did an outline for at least 12 steps, and you think about 3 steps or so per page, right? Then that's where the it's kind of where that comes with the 3 to 4 page. All right, so look, mostly concerned about when I look at your links this weekend would be 12 bulleted steps. All right, and then we'll begin revising and editing your work on wikiHow.com. Okay, and we're going for a full publication, so we want to make sure that we meet all of their guidelines, which we have kind of read and looked at over the last week or so. So what are some more important things we want to think about and look at for this particular project? Okay. You definitely want to understand wikiHow. That's an interesting link for students, right? We've looked at the list of requested topics, right? We've talked about maybe doing some searches, and then to do the high-level work, there's some recommendations if you're going to be citing research or citing other things on there. Make sure that you understand how that is supposed to be done, and this is a great wikiHow on how to do that. More specifically, let's look down here at a couple of, now we've already talked about photos. If you are uploading your own photos, you're going to be fine. The other thing to be concerned about when you're putting photos up there is whether or not you are using a photo correctly, right? If you're, you have permission to use it. We're talking about copyright laws and things of that nature. So this is kind of a beginning to that, to have you think about not just how to put the photo on, but there's also some good information on there about how to think about where you can go get your photos. And so I would probably start off with Flickr and then you can revise your search to find those that are just available for free use, right, on the public domain. All right, so really what I wanted to get down to is this right here. All right, so when you are working on yours this weekend, okay, right here, you want to make sure that you mark, there it is, you can mark an article as in use by following this guide right here, right? So in your code there is a here it is, in use in brackets, INUSE, and these specific brackets are the very beginning of your article, right? And this goes in the code section before your start of the introduction, and then the date and this notice was placed on date on the template will be inserted automatically, so you need to worry about that. Okay, so that what that basically does when you put yours in use, that way when you drafting yours right this weekend, and you put that in use on there, then no one else is going to come in and sabotage, if you will, or revise or make edits or make changes to your work. All right, so it's really imperative to use the in use on your wikiHow for especially this weekend. And we'll take that off after we get to the final stages here, okay? And we'll talk about after you publish later, okay? All right, so let me put myself. So what are the big takeaways from this video? Number one, you want to make sure, come on. All right, so you really want to make sure that in this this stage of the game, we've gotten our topics, right? The next thing that you want to make sure that you do is set your article as in use, right? And you want to have your 12 steps, right? You want to have a good introduction. You want to have hopefully a lot of the materials that are needed and some troubleshooting items, right? And you'll find those things, right, when you look at how the genre, the formatting is set up, right, on your wiki, on the wikiHow, right? And some of the articles that we looked at from last week, and when you sit down to make sure the first thing you write in your code on that is in use within that brackets, as I just kind of demonstrated, or that's got the link to that article on the assignment description page that we've been looking at. All right, so those kind of the highlights for this week. And thinking about the wikiHow, take your time with those. You don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about discussion posts or discussion replies this week. Just focus on the wikiHow things. And if you have questions and as they come up, just reach out to me, let me know, and I'll be happy to help you. All right, as always, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have yourself a most wonderful week. If there's anything else I can do for you or more that I can do for you, you just let me know. And I hope to see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.